So many of you loved the cottage in Rattray, and I could see why. It was warm, safe, easy to manage, amenities on my doorstep. And a lot of you said it looked made for me. But something in me still wonders if that would really be the right ending to this journey. I've always dreamed of a cottage, somewhere fairly rural, where I can work with my hands again. Space for tools, a bit of land, and those woodland walks that the dogs and I love. That's why I've headed north into Aberdeenshire. It's where the more affordable, characterful places still appear. And, truthfully, this might be the last renovation I can take on in my lifetime. I want to make sure it's the right one. A place that'll see me through these next few chapters, not just the next few years. I'm heading out today to see another cottage. This one is tucked away near Aboyne in rural Aberdeenshire. It's called Smiddy Cottage, and from the home report it looks full of character but might need quite a bit of work. Sounds the usual thing. I don't know yet if filming will be possible inside, but I'll share as much as I can, and afterwards I'll talk through what I found and whether it could be a contender.
But Margaret Sligo was Alexander Forbes, who's honoured with purple orkney. Now, Montrose is the title of the painting by... Yeah, Scottish is gorgeous. Before, rocky local names refer to a woman, a lord, and a pigeon.
The property is circa 1880. This cottage looked so promising on paper. A little stone cottage called Smiddy Cottage, tucked on the edge of the old Balfour Estate in Aboyne. The name tells its story. It was once the blacksmith's home, sitting right beside the old smithy, and woodland walk starting almost at the door. You could still sense the history in the thick granite walls and the curve of the lane that leads down to it. The name tells its story. This was once the blacksmith's home. The old forge still stands, with the furnace intact after more than 2 centuries. You can almost imagine the rhythm of hammer and anvil echoing through here in the 1800s. The home report says there's very little evidence of settlement or movement in the building. Well, that's one good thing. The home report listed mostly 1s and 2s for chimney, roofing, rainwater and so on. But the key one that was very important is dampness, rot and infestation. And that gets a category 3. The description in the home report says it's a 1.5-storey detached cottage. Ground floor, entrance hallway, living room, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, rear vestibule hallway. Attic floor, landing, 2 attic bedrooms. So helpfully, we're asked to be reminded that the cost of repairs may influence the amount someone is prepared to pay for the property. I I spotted staining on wall surfaces, indicative of leakage. There's a warning in the home report. If left unattended, even for a short period, Category 2 repairs can rapidly develop into more serious Category 3. Heating is provided by the stove in the living room, which serves a series of steel panel hot water radiators. It's mains water supply, but a shared septic tank. Strangely, the cold water tank is located in the living room.
It's been fascinating, that, and I've got a certain amount that I can budget for immediate repairs, renovation, that sort of thing.
Right.
But I have to be honest and sort of say to myself, well, okay, yes, I might like it, but what can I realistically afford
That's
to do?
it. Yeah, and you know, and I don't think I'd hold any punches here, but
No.
but there is a lot of money that has to go into it.
Yeah.
So you know, which is again, I think the reason that a lot of people are really, really, really interested in it.
And so that amount, I have to be realistic with what I can do, and a buffer to keep me going until I know what I'm doing. But no, it's been fascinating. So I just need to do the sums and what have you.
Yeah.
The setting was magnificent. Pure woodland silence, birdsong, the sort of view you'd dream of. Pheasants in the neighbouring field, and owls that had been in this tree standing in the garden. But I think people will have recognised this for me. It's far too remote. And with so much work needed just to make it habitable, I knew it had to be a no. Still, it's the kind of place that reminds me why I keep looking. Because somewhere out there is a cottage with this sort of soul, just in a condition I can actually save. But sadly, the reality was very different. The house had been empty for several years, and it felt colder inside than it did outside. It really did. That damp, deep chill that only comes from long neglect. The owner was honest about it. He even said it would take hundreds of thousands to bring it up to standard. Under Scottish rental law, he can't let it out without major upgrades. So it's simply been sitting there, waiting for someone willing to take it on. And as much as my heart wanted to see the potential, my head couldn't make the numbers work. Well, that was really interesting. The cottage had a lovely setting. I'm here in the forest now. It's so peaceful. And it was surprisingly light inside. The owner showed me around. He didn't mind me filming. And I've got my notes. But oh my word, it needed so much work. Such a shame. It was actually colder inside the house than when we went out into the garden. Admittedly, it's not been lived in for a while, 2 years plus, getting dripped on. So we're just in the forest now having a walk, so I can't complain about the walks nearby. But, oh dear, yeah, so much to think about. And what a magnificent setting this is though. So I'm going to take the dogs for a walk and have a good think. Could it be a contender? It depends on the sums. I think today helped me find my line. Smiddy Cottage had everything I thought I wanted. History, space, woodland walks. But stepping inside, I knew straight away it wasn't possible. It's been empty for years, and sometimes love for old buildings can cloud the practical truth. I've realised there's a difference between a home I can bring back to life and a house that would consume everything I have. Maybe that's part of the journey, learning to recognise when to walk away, even from something so beautiful. Each viewing teaches me a little bit more about what's realistic and what's worth holding out for. I do believe there is something out there for me, and I'm not placing my expectations too high.